Well, right now, there's so many messed up things to talk about. I don't even know where to start. There's so many lies coming out of this government. The biggest one is, what are they telling these soldiers? You got to go to war. This is Armageddon, the return of Jesus Christ. And yet, they're fighting for a bunch of Ashkenazi Jews that don't believe in Jesus Christ. So they're being lied to. Blasphemy. And then, what happened to the separation of the church and state? You know, you can throw that out the window, because here you got the state embroiled in religion and using it as a leverage to lie to our soldiers. On another note, this just came out that the military is looking for a safe place in that Gulf, the Gulf region. They need a safe place? Well, of course they need a safe place, and there is none. Shit, to get hammered. All the bases have been hammered. And they did, and one of our destroyers was hit bad. And I've come to that conclusion watching the pictures. That's a modern day destroyer with American flag. Now, AI, I know it could be that. But then other reports, anyhow, that destroyer, I think it was hit. And I think it was destroyed. And I think we destroyed an Iranian vessel. That is a military vessel. And it looks like it's destroyed. And now I'm absolutely convinced that the USS Abraham Lincoln was hit. And is back to the dock, because those pictures that they're coming out, videos from different countries, looks very convincing. Unfortunately, you can't get any real news, any real intel from the United States government. The estimates, I do not believe for 1 second now, especially, that the estimates of the dead of American citizens is anything what we're being told. There's just too much, way too much devastation, way too much of our military bases, ships. And here's the other thing I've been bragging about, taking out that ship of the Iranian Navy. Iran really didn't have much of a navy. They fight an asymmetrical war with their boats that are equipped with small, I think they're like 80-pound missiles. They can cause a hell of a lot of damage. And they got thousands of them. So here we are in a war of attrition that America, mark my words, we are going to lose. And how bad, that's yet to be determined. But this is a war of attrition. Iran has already come out and said they had hundreds of thousands of these missiles. And we didn't really damage any of that stuff. And if you look at, I don't know if any of you are really seeing all these other pictures, but the tarmac, Iranian tarmac on their air bases, they painted silhouettes of their jets. So what did we do, America? We went and bombed the silhouettes. Also, all their underground bunkers that were totally destroyed. They had that set up. They just drove those. They had massive diesel trucks in there with their rockets on them. And when the radar figured out the B-2 bombers are going to get those, they just pulled out. So we bombed a whole bunch of concrete and steel. That means don't mean anything. And we're running out of munitions. We're going to run out of munitions to protect America. Who the hell thought this out? Seriously. Seriously. I know who thought it out. The Ashkenazi Jew, Netanyahu, who's been screwing this country for how long? And Donald Trump went along with it because he is compromised. He doesn't want those videos coming out. And that's the big one, the videos with him and children. And yet I still have people saying stuff like, follow the plan. Holy shit. We followed that plan for 12 years. Look where it got us. I am so disgusted and embarrassed by a lot of Americans right now. I'm like, all of a sudden you're jumping on this bandwagon like you know something. And those of us that have researched and studied in depth, with our connections, and then we try to tell you the truth and exactly what's happening to avoid it, and you guys jump in head first. That's all I got to say at this time. God bless America, I hope.